Yeah, I too hate that Aang is a bad father in Legend of Korra. I actually don't think that Aang was a bad dad, but I understand why it looks that way and why a lot of us in the fandom don't like that character choice for him. The circumstances are very understandable. Aang was raised by monks. He had Monk Yatso as a father figure, but he didn't actually have parents. What example of fatherhood was he supposed to follow? And before you, well, Katara me, or how did Katara allow this? You mean the other child soldier whose mama died and daddy went off to war when she was mad young? What does she know? Yes, she was motherly in Avatar: The Last Airbender, but that didn't mean that she knew how to raise kids or be a mother. She knows how to run a tribe, and that's ultimately what she ended up doing. And also, I don't like this rhetoric because we're not gonna blame the mama because the daddy wasn't around, which is what some of y'all lean towards with that argument, just so you know. I'm just saying, Kaya and Bumi weren't saying that Katara was the one that was neglectful, and Aang needs to hold that L on his own. And yeah, Aang was a little bit neglectful towards Kaya and Bumi, but does that make him a bad father or just a flawed one? Kaya admits that her and Bumi weren't that interested in learning air nomad culture. It could be that Aang respected their wishes and wasn't trying to force something on them that they weren't interested in, which actually does seem pretty aligned with his character from Avatar: The Last Airbender. I personally do not agree with that method. We are taking a family vacation to learn about your people and to ride the elephant koi. My people's lineage will not be bred out of this bloodline. Both Kaya and Bumi also look back on their relationship with him pretty fondly. Like, he was great and supportive when he was there. He just needed to be there more while being the Avatar and ensuring that air nomad culture did not die out with him or his son. I'm not saying it's great, but I do think that Aang was trying his best and deserves some grace. I think it's so disappointing with Aang because we loved him so much in Avatar: The Last Airbender. And granted, he was like 12, but he was also so good and so filled with love and had so much respect for all life and all mankind and the spirits and the animals. So to find out in Legend of Korra that the people closest to him, his children, were the most hurt by his actions well into their adulthood, that was an insult. We did not want to see that. And there was no resolution for it in the show. Like, call Korra up, have her put my daddy on the line so that we can hash this out or something. Therapy is expensive. Tenzin also kind of falls into this trap when he goes to find the new airbenders after harmonic convergence. I just kind of find that interesting. You just like your bald-headed daddy. But I personally don't care for how they handled any of Team Avatar from Avatar: The Last Airbender as adults in Legend of Korra, with the exception of Zuko. And don't even get me started on Sokka and Suki because I am trying to swear less.